Whether you're a fan of comic book TV and movies or not, The Penguin takes some of the best elements from the organized crime genre and mixes in some scenarios that only Gotham can produce. And while it does have moments of calm to build up plot, character, and story, this high action, high suspense, and high stakes story will constantly leave you on the edge of your seat. There's only 2 episodes left this season, so I'm going to break down why you should take time out of your busy day to catch up. And I'm going to do it all spoiler free. And before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Alright, so just to kick things off, whether you like The Batman or not, you have to admit, Matt Reeves created one of the best versions of Gotham we've ever seen. And while each set, location, and character feel distinct, everything still feels like Gotham. Showrunner Lauren LaFranc clearly had a lot of elements to weave together, and I believe they used everything at their disposal masterfully. Side note, recently James Gunn responded on social about whether his slated movies that he announced were officially going to come out or if some of them were going to change, and he said they're still officially going to happen as long as he gets a very tight and incredible script. I'm paraphrasing here. There's the actual social. But the point is, if we can expect the quality of every single DCU property to be this fine-tuned, because the script was definitely a part of this show's success, then I gotta say we have a lot to look forward to. One of the things that's really magical about the show is that each episode feels like its own mini movie, and it's extremely satisfying every single episode. And while they do lead into each other, there's a sort of finality I feel that each episode brings that both leaves you wanting more, but also feels like it was a perfect close on that episode. 2 things this show does really well is keeps you guessing and heavily invested in the characters. And speaking of, if you love character pieces, well, this is exactly that, an incredible, multi-layered character piece. And the acting across the board is on another level. Alright, so let me dive into some of these characters. I'm going to only be going over 3, keeping them spoiler light again, but just to give you a sense of who these people and characters are and how the actors perform in the roles. First up, we have none other than Penguin. Colin Farrell dons a lot of prosthetics for this role, but it doesn't take away anything from the performance, and actually adds to it. He uses the prosthetics to his advantage and kind of does a De Niro gangster style performance, and by that I mean he really relies on his mouth and eyebrows heavily to kind of portray a lot. As for Penguin himself, you're constantly wondering what's going to happen to him, and every episode feels like he can either achieve his goals or die. Next up, we have Victor. So he's played by an actor I haven't seen before, Renzi Feliz. He's a new character that doesn't exist in the comics. He acts as a POV character who started innocent, but then due to the events that unfold, is required to work with the worst of Gotham. You're constantly wondering how he's going to end up, and you really get to live in shock through him. The actor does a phenomenal job. Honestly, there isn't one scene he hasn't nailed, and I don't know if he actually has a stutter in real life or not, but I couldn't tell you if he did. Last but not least, the mother from How I Met Your Mother. Kristen Milioti, who often brings joy and positive energy to her roles, takes on a much more visceral role. Believe it or not, her story drives almost as much of Penguin as Penguin. And for that reason, I don't want to spoil too much, but just understand that she does a phenomenal job in the role. Really just so convincing in every way, and I can't wait to see her in more roles like this moving forward, hopefully. All right, that's it, everybody. Why are you still here? Go to HBO Max or go to Crave. Start watching today. There's 6 episodes for you to catch up on. And be sure to check back for a full season review with spoilers once it's over. Until next time, keep it geeky.